Hello and welcome to the comic book Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. I am Matt Campbell, the creator of Mythica and co-host, and with me is Smurf.
I am Smurf. I be he be me.
I be he and he be me.
I am the purveyor of all that is geeky over at 5280 Geek, as well as co-founder of the Colorado Festival for and commander of the Colorado Ghostbusters.
Always a pleasure to be with you on Fridays here, my friend.
It is. You know what? I do enjoy the camaraderie. This is kind of a fun way to close out the week for me.
Nice. I agree. This week was a busy week for me. I've got this was the last week of school for my students, and so a lot of grading, a lot of getting students over the finish line. And I've got one more class on Monday, which is the last class of my comic book class. For some reason, it landed on a single Monday, and that's the only day of school next week. But this weekend, I'll be picking up their books from the printer, and I'll be giving them their books on Monday. So I'm super excited to give those to them. Like they love it, and the look on their faces is so fun.
I mean, that's got to be like receiving. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be better than like walking the aisle and getting your diploma. This is something that you poured your heart into, and there's like such a huge, I would think, an emotional attachment. Not to mention like the anxious energy of something tactile like gimme. So I mean, I can imagine the emotions run high in that room.
Yeah, it's kind of almost reminiscent of like a yearbook type of thing where first they're excited to see it in print, and then they start going around and getting everybody to sign it because each student has a little 3-page story in it, and so they each have their own little section, and then we'll usually take like a class photo, and then we're also usually feasting on a potluck. It's a fun last day.
Ooh, potluck.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's potluck with mostly people in early college or right out of high school, so they're bringing like cookies and chips mostly.
Lots of ramen dishes. Gotcha.
Yeah, like most people don't bring dishes. They bring something they can grab from the store, and but although yesterday. We did have someone bring enchiladas and Spanish rice, which was kind of nice.
Nice. All right. I'm trying to think of where my culinary skills were about that time, and I mean, I was no Gordon Ramsay, but I could make a dish. I could make a dish.
I mean, yeah, I could survive. I definitely started cooking, for myself and my sisters, my family, pretty early in life. So,
yeah.
Although, so because of that, I've been super busy with that, and then haven't gotten to promote Free Comic Book Day as much as I'd hope, but hopefully it kind of promotes itself. It's a national event. Is it an international event yet?
I don't know if it's international. I haven't seen anyone like across the pond promoting Free Comic Book Day, but then
yeah,
I think they're different distributors. So
yeah, I didn't think so, but I mean, I'm sure they're starting to be aware of it because, like you said, Marvel distributes all over the world, but maybe it'll go national someday. That'd be cool, or international. But for right now, pretty much every comic book shop in the country participates in it for the most part, and so you can get free comics at your local comic shop. The idea is to get people that haven't been looking at comics into the door and checking out comics and showing them all the great stories that are being told in the comic book medium. I'm going to be at Mutiny Comics or Mutiny Information Cafe in Denver. I'm really looking forward to that. They're opening early tomorrow. They're going to open at 9 a.m., which is nice. So if you're planning in Denver, if you're planning on like doing a tour of the comic shops, this might be a good one to start with since it's opening a little earlier. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have my books. I'm going to have prints. I'm going to be doing the sketches. So be sure and check it out. And whatever comic shop you go to, wherever you're at, there's going to be artists. In fact, support your local comic shop right now by posting in the comments what comic shop you're going to go to, so that other people can take a look at what they have.
I mean, because all of the shops kind of run their own special sales. I mean, I'll start at Time Warp up in Boulder, and then from there kind of do the rounds. I mean, we have like a systematic, layout plan of attack. We just start with Wayne because he's the furthest for us, and then we know Wayne, so he lets us in the back door, and we get we kind of get the free like. Ooh,
so you're a backdoor boy,
huh?
So you're saying you're a backdoor boy?
Yes.
I cornered you into that one.
You got it. I mean, I painted myself into that corner. Let's be honest. So. But it's fun. And then there's one, I mean, you got like, if you go to 5280geek.com, I've got my top 10 of what I think the best choices are. Because you walk in there and I mean, you got like countertops just loaded full of free comics. And some shops limit like, 3 to 5 different books. So I put my top 10 out there of what I think I see a value in, what's kind of fun and different. I know DC's got a special holofoil cover for their free comic book day. There's the regular one, and then there's this special edition one that it looks beautiful. It's a great Superman foil cover, and that's going for like $10 right now at most shops.
And they're giving it away for free? Oh no, it's just their special for the day.
That's just
got it. I was like, whoa, wow.
Oh no. DC's generous, but they're almost broke. So they're not going to do that. But that's what happens when a cell phone company buys a comic book company.
Okay, Sean Barber says, Team INSYM. I'm not 100% sure that is probably the comic shop. Coast to coast, East Coast. I'll be a bearded brown coat comic and games in Ocala, Florida.
Nice. I've been there.
You've been there?
I have been to that shop, yes.
Nice. The bearded brown coat comics and games. Yep. What a fun name.
And that's what kind of hooked me, because we were down there after we did Dragon Con. We went down to go hang out in Disney World and, just kind of screw off. And then we started like picking off shops. We're like, where do we want to go? And like the bearded, like, oh no, we got to go there. So it was worth the trip. It was a fun little shop.
Nice. Well, Matt, thanks for sharing your comic shop and helping to support the comic community. So today we're going to be looking at 6 or 7 different indie comics that uploaded to our Facebook page. Make sure that if you're interested in having your comic or your campaign looked at, that you post on the Action Line Studios Facebook page. I do share this campaign and this event in a lot of different places, but we don't have time to go look and scour all those places for the comments. So put all your comments there at the Action Line Studios page. And then what we do is we take them all, we enter them into the Wheel of Destiny. Then that narrows it down to 3, and we take a look at them and choose one to back every Friday. So that being said, let's take a look here. I need to share that individual screen. I keep forgetting. Let's see. We got share screen. There it is. Yeah. Turn that down.
Jams this morning. I like it.
Yeah, you must hear it better than I do, because I turn it up to where I can just barely hear it, and I'm always surprised when you can hear it.
Yeah, I guess.
I guess. I mean, I don't think I have the best speakers. One of these days I'm going to start using my headphones, but. All right, so today on the Wheel of Destiny, we have Tales from Nocturna #1, which we've seen before. Olivia, the Mighty Kraken, which is actually a novel, not a comic, but it is up here. Walla Owl, I don't have any idea how to say that one. The Legacy of Jupiter Man Awakening, The Salvaged She-Newt, Bohampton's Fantastic Adventure, and The Atradian Justice.
Ooh. Sounds like a space opera.
Yeah, that name definitely screams something like sci-fi, doesn't it? All right, Sean Barber saying fingers crossed for mine to pop up. Yeah, well, a couple of these only had a few days left, so we'll see if they make it. All right, so let's go with the first one. Which one will it be? Looks like the Legacy of Jupiter Man. All right, I got that one pulled up and ready. Very good. Congratulations to Legacy of Jupiter Man for being selected in the Wheel of Destiny. And then there were 6. Let's spin again. As I'm jamming out over here. Funky. All right, it's the one that I can't pronounce. Walla'au. What are your thoughts on how to pronounce that one?
We already know my innate ability to just mutilate names. I'm not even touching that. I'll just go with you. I'll defer to you.
Sean's saying he's not up here. Which one is? Let me take a look at the Facebook page and see.
Walla'au?
It sounds like you're giving a whale call.
Ow! Walla'au. It's very clannish. It's very cool. I kind of dig it. It's unique. It kind of reminds me like Star Trek, where they would put in some technobabble, and whoever said it first, basically that's how it is said from that point on. So that's that. I have given it a name, and that is how it shall be pronounced thus forward. So saith the Smurf.
All right, real quickly, I'm just taking a look at the posts for the most current active campaign post and seeing if I missed anything. I see Jeff's, I see Ralph's. So I think what happened, Sean, is that you might have your post might have been on the old one from last week. We make a new post every week and pin it to the top of the page. We also try to change the colors so that they're different. So that might have been what happened. So I apologize you didn't make it in. You have been on the show before, just didn't quite make it in, I think, on the Wheel of Destiny. All right, let's do one more. We got 5 now. Looks like Bo Hampton's Fantastic Adventure, Volume 2. All right. Sean says
Josephus's Adventure to Bojangles.
I know, it kind of does sound like that. All right, Sean, I appreciate that you appreciate us, and that we will definitely take a look. In fact, there was one last week, and it might have been Mercer, so you might check, Sean. We had one that we picked that I backed, and then I went back and backed a second one because I wanted to take a closer look at it. And I thought it was Mercer, so you might check, Sean.
Double check.
All right. So let me pull up these and remove the Wheel of Destiny. We got Waloo, the Legacy of Jupiter, and Bo Hampton's. You're digging that music, aren't you?
I am. I'm getting down over here.
All right. I think we got that all set up. So let's go with the first one here, which was, I believe the first one that was picked was the Legacy of Jupiter Man. There's actually an Indiegogo campaign, but I'm okay with that.
I mean, there's room for all. Whatever it takes to get your project funded, I completely endorse.
Absolutely. Now, also, there was someone else who posted their, I believe it was a Gumroad link, and that's essentially just a store. And so this is all about looking at campaigns and looking how the campaign actually like grabs our attention and tells us what we need to know and intrigues us and hooks us. And so I'm not including things that are a store. All right, so we got Emmy, the award-winning Emmy, here with us today. Says good morning.
Good morning.
And Becky is here as well. Hello, Becky. So we got a nice turnout today. I like it. I like it. All right, so here we got our first one. This is Legacy of Superman Awakening. Join me in bringing inclusivity. That's
inclusivity. Very
I
good.
had a hard time with that word today.
Yes.
Inclusivity to the comic book world with my Native American hero, Jupiter Man. So that was, speaking of Native American, that was the one that we picked last week. And the one that I initially backed was another Native American story. You remember?
Yes, it was.
Had the really great artwork.
Call of the Totem.
Yes, there it is.
See, I saved my notes.
There you go.
Yeah,
I was
my
actually
desk
just
is just a
looking
disaster.
at where I was going to write mine down too. All right, I got to get my pen handy for later.
Yes.
All right. Matt Knowles says, I blame the cryptids. Clearly, it was one of your Cerber fairs that steered you wrong, talking to Sean about posting on the wrong date there. All right. So let's see what this video shares with us. I don't know if I can zoom in on this one or not. We'll find out.
My name's Nathan Rouse, aka Mr. Unchained. Have you ever wanted to be a part of something bigger than yourself? Have you ever wanted to be a character in the comic book, your own villain or your own hero? Well, I'm calling on all of you to join this all-inclusive world of comic book lovers to read this very first install of the Idolverse, Jupiter Man, an indigenous hero of the sun. I'm a dreamer like all of you. And with your help, this new age of heroes can rise. Rose.
All right.
All right. That was short and sweet. I love the use of Pink Floyd. That was a great mood setting tone for the music bed, and it wasn't too overpowering. So, to our points and our notes last week of don't pick a bed that's louder than you. So I think that works really well. The lighting, however, is a little distracting because it's a little
I feel like he's like sitting in a rave, or something.
Yes, I would go with a rave.
And like I'm actually kind of curious, like that had to have been a mix or something, because like how can you have something that copyrighted on YouTube?
That's a very good question, and maybe just because of where that piece is clipped, they weren't able to identify it.
My name's Nathan Rouse, aka Mr. Unchained.
Yeah,
have you ever wanted to be a part of something bigger than yourself?
Piano music?
Have you ever wanted to be a character in the comic book, your own?
Yeah, that's not. It's the vocals that kick in. That's Pink Floyd. I'm not sure who the piano work is on that one.
Okay. All right. So, what did you get from this video about what it was about?
Not a damn thing. All I know that is that he is an indigenous superhero or an indigenous character. I don't know which. And if you are about comics, you want to be in on this and a chance to be in the comic, which we didn't get really a whole lot of clarification on how I get to be part of the comic, which would also be helpful. But I do love the personality, and I do love the pitch and how he brings it to us. But I don't know if it would have been better if we had cut to while he's talking, clips of the character and clips of the book to go along with his dialogue, kind of as a direction as far as where the story or how you would be part of it or all of that. But I think it's a good piece of editing. I'll give you that.
Well, I gotta say, for me, I really got caught up into the mood of the music and then the lighting, and then right away I just started like feeling the groove, and I realized like I really wasn't listening to what he was saying.
Nope.
So, and I think that's just a combination of kind of maybe mixed signals, maybe, because I was like, oh, this is groovy music, and the lighting is like chill too, and I was just feeling it. But let's see also what kind of information the site tells us, because we got a short summary here. Hello, I'm Nathan Rouse, aka Mr. Unchained Unlimited, all one word.
Okay.
A passionate creator with a dream to bring diverse and inclusive heroes to the forefront. My campaign, Jupiter Man, is not just about a comic. It's about creating a world where heroes represent the rich tapestry of human experiences. I envision a place
just with words. Wow.
Yeah. I envision a place where every child, regardless of background, can find a hero they relate to. This product is deeply personal to me, fueled by a lifelong desire to break down barriers and challenge the status quo. With your support, we're just beginning to this journey, starting with issue 1, featuring Jupiter Man, an indigenous Native American tribal hero, which I'm hoping is this character.
I'm hoping so as well.
I don't get Native American right away, but he might be the villain. I'm not really sure yet. Because here's a couple other characters. All right, so I also see the cover over here, so I'm assuming that this is our guy, right?
I think so.
All right, guys. So for me, I feel the passion. I feel the goal and the drive. I love that part about wanting to, or he says, I envision a place where every child can find a hero they relate to. That's ambitious. It's awesome. And I love it. However, that doesn't tell me if this is going to be a good story or just some different characters. I don't really know much about anything else that's going on. And so I'm a little hesitant at this point.
It's obviously a labor of love. And again, that enthusiasm and that energy comes through. Kind of one of the things, pitch 101, in your pitch, make sure you get across what it is. And you have, again, that window of 30 seconds, which she's absolutely focused in on, and it's great. But I think that we need more information, and we kind of we kind of get lost in that with all of the other sensory things going on. And I think, again, if he just had done words underneath his images to kind of relay what that is, if you're going to explain it to us, great, tell us what it is, and leave it at that. But again, feeling the vibe. What is Sean saying?
Sean says, as I have a Native girlfriend, I wholly believe Indigenous representation should be more prevalent. I respect this so much, and I totally agree.
Absolutely.
I love seeing more representation in comics, but it's still got to be a good comic for me.
Well, and we still need to know what the story is. I mean, I do a lot of cons with Raphael and Bad Hand and Christina Bad Hand, who,
I went to college with Christina.
Yeah, and Aya is a great Indigenous comic book. If you guys have not got on board with Aya and Aya Studios,
absolutely,
they do a great series, and Christina and Raphael are amazing individuals, and I look forward to AyaCon coming up later this year here in Colorado.
I was going to say, are they still doing that con? It's an Indigenous based comic convention.
Yeah, and they are doing it again. They're back this year, and it is Indigenous focused. So if you're looking for more Indigenous representation, Sean, I would suggest check them out. It's worth a it's a worth a peruse. And like I said, Christina and Raphael are great people. We love working with them when we get the chance.
Yeah, and if you guys know anyone that like has a comic specifically targeting that indigenous, have them check out that convention. If one of you watching can do a quick search on Facebook to find their Iacon page and post that link in the comments so other people can find it, that'd be great. Going back to this campaign, I do think that in the video when he's talking, showing some of these visuals, because this is nice looking artwork.
It is.
I'd like to see more of it. There's, I think, 2 pages here that we can see.
Yeah,
they both look nice.
Like character designs, I think would have been even a little bit more about, you know, embracing, you know, this culture and a hero for all these different people.
Yeah, I'd like to see some teaser sketches or something from some of the other I'm not thinking of the right word, but the other characters that he wants to make.
Just even like character designs. I mean, if it's character driven, give us some of the characters.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't have to be like solid finished inks and all of that. Just a nice sketch, or just like a thumbnail, or some different character designs would be kind of fun, I think. Especially for this particular campaign.
All right, I'm not counting this one out because I'm still intrigued and I love the passion and the artwork looks good. I just don't really know what this story is about, so that has a big pause on it for me. But we'll take a look and hold on to that one and take a look at the other 2. So let's stop that screen and go to the next one. While I'm here, let's address this right here. This is what I was saying earlier. You did back my comic, Mr. Campbell. Much love, thank you. Because that was the one I was like, I want to get a closer look at this, even though it wasn't the one we selected. So I went in there and backed him. Let's see. I want to share the next one, which is the one that sounds like a whale call.
Woo-ah.
Yeah. They need one of those things that has like the how to pronounce next to it.
Nice. See, that's helpful for people like me who mutilate names.
Exactly. All right. Voila. Ooh.
So I was right. Look at that.
Yeah.
Coffee is a thing.
A story about a talkative hairstylist who has a powerful ability. What ability? We don't know. They have a lofty goal of 5,400. That's a tough one. We'll see. Let's take a look what the video tells us.
This is Winona Govea. She's a hairstylist who owns her own small business and is a talkative sort with her clientele. Winona has a sweet senior dog and a deeply trusted friend. But Winona also has a secret. She has the ability to emit powerful sound waves with the sound of her voice. When encountering individuals who appear to be a problem, Winona takes on the persona of Vala'au and dispenses her own unique brand of oral justice upon those who disrupt the peace. What she doesn't know is that there is an organization lurking in the shadows. Will Vala'au be able to defend herself against the massive force sent to get her?
Soaring Imaginations Publishing presents the upcoming comic book, Vala'au. What does Vala'au mean?
Should have put that at the beginning. Vala'au. We were both way off.
We just, again, I apologize.
Line adjective. To talk, speak, hungry.
All right, I'm going to pause there because I'm not sure what else is going here. Just talking about what's coming in the campaign. All right. What were your thoughts, sir?
I liked it. I mean, I liked the teaser of what I think, like you said, this should have been at the beginning as far as like what it means and kind of an explanation. but again, that's just editing on where things go on placement.
Mhm.
And it's always, I think that's probably the most difficult thing in storytelling is where things go and how do you lay out a pitch. And I think the story itself is great. I'm curious. I want to know about the secret organization. There's enough breadcrumbs that I am enticed, and I think the character is fun and relatable, and that's also really hard to convey in that amount of time. So I think the character is relatable, and I want to know more.
So I agree. I think this one is also trying to connect to some indigenous roots of Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's essentially where the you see my cat getting in
I
his
see your
shit.
cat. Yeah, your cat's just. I'm just gonna sit here for a while.
Yep, he's trying to get into somebody's gift. He's like, I want one of these. So I agree. I like the concept. I like the, there's a little bit of superhero feeling with the costume. There's some indigenous Hawaiian based roots. I do feel like maybe putting that somewhere at the beginning might be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And then also not just to pronounce it, but also just to sort of give us who don't know a clue that this is based in Hawaiian roots. So like if you're trying to get that audience, I think you might get it faster. Of course, to be fair, they probably know what that word means.
Well, and see, that's the problem when you are smarter than your audience.
Yep.
Everyone comes in at different levels, and sometimes you have to kind of slow down so everyone can catch up to you. And there's nothing wrong with that. All of us are at different levels, and especially when you're dealing with cultural, issues and cultural things that you have been exposed to, and you take that for granted because it is something that is ingrained and is part of you. So to share that, sometimes you just gotta pump the brakes a little bit and let us catch up. I think you're right, and we could have put the introduction and the definition at the front, because Monty Python did that the best. They always threw like the definition, what is it, what are we doing, and then comes the punchline. So I think just a replacement of slides. I think this is great, and I'm curious about it.
Yeah, I like also too that it's sort of grounded in something more modern and relatable, like the hairstylist angle. I one of the things that they tried to tie together is that she was already really talkative, and then her power has to do with her voice, so they kind of go together. Mm-hmm. I think that was a logical connection. I got to say this is you can take it as a negative or a positive, but maybe it's my warped mind. I do work in a mature rated world, but I couldn't stop seeing like a blow up doll or something.
This is Winona Govea.
Mouth move.
She's a hairstylist who owns her own small business.
You just see this like mouth moving up and down. And it would be different, I think, if there was like her words coming out on audio.
Right.
But it was just like this background thing of the mouth moving, and I was like, this is a strange visual. But I still got the message.
I did like it.
And let's see. It does have a high goal, which means usually that means that they need to also pay artists and they need to pay more of the team. And so that means that they probably need this backing in order to get the book made. That's usually what I see when the goal is that high.
And so as we scroll down, are there like stretch goals or something involved? I mean, this seems very, in my opinion, pricey. I mean, this is a big goal, and I haven't seen something this large since some of my other comic creators striking out on their own after they've already been established in the market for some time. So this seems a bit of a large amount, in my opinion.
It might just, I think honestly what it comes down to is, like I said, some people have a campaign where they've already got some nest egg money to set aside to pay artists, or they've already paid the artist and the book is done.
Right.
Other people like myself do some of the art, so the cost is less, and I really only have to pay for a colorist and a letterer. But if you're the writer, which I'm looking at whose campaign this is. Usually it's right here. I don't know why it's not. Oh, there it is. It just says Soaring Imagination, so I don't know. But like, if it's just the writer making a book and they don't have any money, they found an artist. They pay the artist to do a couple pages so they can run a campaign, and then they need the money to pay the artist. And you figure this says here sequential artist, which means they're doing the artwork, and then he's also got to pay a colorist, but it might be the writer. I'm not really sure. But if you're just paying for the sequential artist and you're not paying a colorist because you're the colorist, one of the things you have to understand is a Kickstarter campaign isn't about paying yourself. I did most of my first campaigns. I only raised the money to print the book and to pay my artist. I didn't actually pay myself because my benefit is selling the books and ultimately getting profit from that at some point. And so that'll also knock your goal down into an affordable level. The other thing that you have to have when you have a high goal is you have to have some high rewards to get you there. If you just have $5, $10, $20 goals, that means you need a lot of backers. If you've got that many backers, great. But if you don't, you need someone to come along and drop a couple grand, So, you better be giving something big away. And so what I can tell, this is the biggest one I have is $200. That means it's going to be a long road to 5,000.
Yep.
So that's just something to keep in mind. But I do like the information that was given. I think it was clear, it was concise. So that's definitely also a possibility for me. So shall we look at the last one?
Yes.
Let's do it.
I like it.
I like it. Right. So lastly, we have, where's it at? Bo Hampton's Fantastic Adventure. The one that you said was like Bo Cephas's something or other.
Bo Cephas's quest to Bojangles.
Bojangles. There you go.
Come on, I love Bojangles.
Yeah.
Delicious chicken.
Holy cow, look at this.
Wow.
They had a goal of 6,500, hitting 20,000. And what's more impressive to me about this is they've done it with 136 backers. So if you take 20,000 divided by 136, that's a big average. What are you doing, buddy? Getting into things back there. Which means I'm going to scroll down real fast before we take a look at the video. Somebody has dropped some big bucks, right? So here we've got their highest tier is $1,200, and they've got 2 backers. That puts you to $2,400 already. And then the next one up is $275, and there's 10 of those. So that's another $2,750 just in those 2 tiers. So now the other thing I would venture to say is with this big of a campaign and this many backers, I'm assuming this person already has some backing. He's
got a following, which is perfect. I mean, whatever he's done, legwork, whether it's local comic book shops, whether other projects, or just a good, network. I mean, it's obviously paying off.
Yeah. Now, looking at this closer, I think this might be an art book, not a comic book.
Oh, okay.
It says, second volume of Bo Hampton's series of art books containing unpublished and rare art. So, that's the thing, man. There's so many artists out there. It's impossible to know them all. I don't know if I've ever heard of Bo Hampton.
I unfortunately, neither have I. I don't think I have.
Maybe we'll see something we recognize, though. Let's take a look at the video. Okay.
Okay. I have questions.
I do too. Well, you go first.
Because I know that splash page is Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
That right there, that's Flash Gordon. And I recognized a couple of other IPs that I don't think this person has worked on.
Well, it could be just a collection of fan art.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so I know the line is very fuzzy when it comes to fan art.
Yeah.
But to use IPs that you don't have rights to and sell, especially like this, couldn't you get into trouble?
I mean, I think what it comes down to is, let me check these comments real fast. John's given the rocking symbol, right on. I think what it comes down to is, because I had an art book, and in my art book, like the cover had Wonder Woman. Inside, I had, Betty Page work that I'd done. I had a lot of different fan art that I'd done. And like, because of the diversity, you're not selling or benefiting the book from the IP. It's an IP of many that are in this book. You're selling it based on work you've made.
Okay.
If I say, check out my Superman art, you're leaning in on the IP being the thing that's selling it,
Right.
And I think that might be, kind of the line. But to be fair, I still don't know enough about, Flash Gordon to know if this person ever got to do a cover or something. They could have.
They could have, but I don't think they've done Detective. I saw Detective comics in there. Moon Knight's possible. I'm not saying that, but I mean, because the Moon Knight's great. That looks like.
I like the style.
Huh?
I like the style. It's got an older style.
Yeah, the style is great. Kind of pin up, 50s, 60s, definitely some 70s style. That's John Carter of Mars. That Detective is what kind of see, because I don't.
This is a sketch cover for sure. Look at right here.
Yep. I mean, like I said, I don't know enough about the copyright laws and IP to really throw in on this one, but I mean, the artwork is beautiful. I just worry about legalities.
These are all sketch covers.
Yeah. And the work is great.
And again, I don't know that. I think that you and I might sit on a different side of the fence there. I think that there's nothing wrong with putting out an art book with IP art, fan art, as long as you're not trying to leverage the IP to make the sales.
Right.
If I made, for instance, a book that was just all about the art of Tarzan, then I'm leaning in on that, and I'm going to get fans because it's Tarzan. I'm not necessarily, in this case, I don't see that they're necessarily trying to get fans based on anything. It's just my assortment of stuff I've done.
Right.
So I feel fine with it. The thing that I'm a little want to look more into here, hopefully we'll see it when we scroll down, is when I watched this slideshow style video and I saw this art, I saw some great art. Every piece of text is a different font, a different style, probably taken from a different time, or they just assembled a bunch of stuff that had text on it. And what that does is it tells me, like, is the book going to be like this too? Where each, thing is sort of, in these different styles, and not really like a cohesive, kind of thing.
Right.
Now that might not be the case, but the other thing about it was that, I was fine going through looking at some of this art given the reason, but some of this reading was, pretty intense.
Yeah, that font, like the color on that a couple pages ago, it's hard to
This one's really hard to read.
Yeah, that does. I know they're trying to get it to pop out at you, but that change your color palette and go a different direction, because you've got too many dark colors there.
Yeah. And then we've got this one that's not super easy to read and in one font, and then we got all this illustration or all this reading over here. These are big chunks of text for a video.
Yeah.
Like to just sit there and read all that. And I don't think there was enough time on this one to actually read all that. And so those are the two things that are concerning me. Like, A, there's a lot of text to read, and B, like, is this whole book going to kind of look like that video? I don't know, right? So let's kind of take a quick glance. I don't really need, there's not really like a story. It's just collected artwork.
Just collected artwork.
And all I'm seeing is like full splash pages. So like there may not be any actual layout of the book involved. I don't know if you've ever bought like a nice art book. But usually you'll have a paragraph on one side and maybe a picture on the other talking about the thing, but you have to keep like a consistent font throughout and tie it together as a book. That's kind of what I'm glancing at. I think these are just going to be like a flip book of all, like that doesn't look book ready. That looks like it's just a picture in there. So
yeah,
it's a little bit, like obviously if he's done a book before, some people might have seen it and that's why they came back. They liked it. But as a newcomer into this, I'm not getting any indication of what the book looks like, except for right here. It says 2-character inked illustration inside the cover of the book. Doesn't that mean I'm only going to see one half at a time?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a great pose.
That is perfect. I mean, it's very Harlequin kind of.
Very playful.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like that pose a lot, and I like the art a lot, and I definitely, am intrigued. I don't know that person.
Yep.
All right, so those are our 3 for today. So to recap, we've got this one, Bo Hampton's Fantastic Adventure. We've got the Legacy of Juperman Awakening, bringing inclusivity into the comic book world. And then we've got the Native American, the Hawaiian Valavau, I think. I don't remember now how to say it. With the hairstylist. And there was some hint of, I think that one had the most hint of story for me, for sure.
Yes.
All right, so are you ready to choose which one we are going to give some support to?
While you write down your answer, I only have one thing to kind of comment on Bo's adventure.
Go for it.
I don't know. I like the art book. I like the thought. I like the idea. But would it be better to self-publish this instead of doing a Kickstarter? I mean, you can go to Amazon and kind of build this, and I almost think it would be better that way. I don't know. I love the artwork. I just want to say that I love the art. The art is gorgeous. So it's not a comic. It's just a collection of your art, which is spectacular. But I think you could do better somewhere else.
Well, maybe. I mean, I do feel like, if you needed the money to, like on Amazon, they're going to be print on demand. They're going to be printing, one at a time. So like if you wanted to have books to take to shows, take to events, or even take to comic shops or bookstores, you need some inventory. And so, that could be a reason you might want to have Kickstarter, for the art book. I do agree that like, apparently it doesn't seem to be a whole lot of like, hiring out of other people to do the layouts are so far seem to be very straightforward. Just here's a big splash page of my art. And it's all his art anyway. So I don't know that there's a lot to pay someone else to do other than print it. And so.
And unless the quality is going to be like a hardcover, like coffee table style book, or there, cardstock quality is also going to play into this as far as the print quality and all of that, especially for the art. I
think you're right. I think you are. I think you're right. I think if you're going to do an art book, to me, I would want to showcase like some of those features you're talking about, like the hardback, the the finish, show, some of it, which means either doing a nice mock-up, which is not that hard to do these days,
Nope.
Or having the book, having a what do they call it? A sample book printed. But seeing that, I think it would be a big benefit for sure.
I think so. I think that would drive it home a little bit better to see exactly what you're getting, and unless it's a centerfold.
I think you're talking about that one.
Entirely different, Sean.
I think he's talking about that one that we saw that looked like it was inside the cover.
Yep.
I only say that because the actual thing said inside cover, but it might have been that it was originally inside a cover, and then this is like a page or something. Because I feel like I see a page behind it right there.
Yeah, it looks like it, but I mean,
this might be cover. This might be just a first page.
Yep.
All right.
All right, I'm ready if you are.
All right, let me shut this one down. Matt's got to go. Thank you for stopping by, Matt. Just a shout out, Tales from Nocturna has 7 hours left and $232 from Stretch Goal. So go give those guys some support.
Yep.
Now it's time for us to choose which one we are going to back here on the Comic Book Showdown. I'm ready when you are. Let's actually go full screen with our cameras here. You ready?
Yep. 3, 2, 1.
Ha! That's the. I think we've been on the same page every time.
3 for 3.
3 for 3. So, congratulations to. I'm gonna go back and find that definition. Vala'au. That's how you say it.
Nope.
Congratulations to you guys. I will be going to your campaign and choosing a tier to back. Thank you for everybody who has been watching and all the viewers today. We're steadily growing, and that's exciting to see. Remember that each week we're going to have a post pinned on the Facebook Action Line page that you can make your post, and be sure and share it with others. There's a large comic community out there, indie creators, and I still think most of them haven't heard of our show yet. So be sure and share it out there for other people to see. Also, I have a comic coming up. I'm going to do a shameless plug here for a second. Where's it at?
Shameless plug here.
Shameless plug here. Insert shameless plug. All right, so this is my comic book Mythica. This is our 9th issue, and in this issue, an angry Scotsman goes up against a pack of vampires, and they might have bit off more than they can chew, or vice versa. We don't know, because he doesn't actually know how to defeat vampires yet. So he's just fighting with rage. But this is going to be coming soon. We're wrapping up some of the last-minute finishing details on this campaign. So be sure and go to this link and hit the notify me button so that you don't miss when we launch. Okay? Smurf, how can they find you on the interwebs?
You can find us under 5280geek.com, Facebook page 5280geek, Instagram 5280geek, and everything you need is there. So come see what we got going on. We'll be posting weekly updates for comic books. We're about to post Adventures in Cosplay, which is prop building for the cosplayer out there, and movie reviews. I know we've got some new movies coming out that everyone's excited to see what our take is on it, and of course it's usually spoiler free. Right on.
I always enjoy watching those videos, guys, and the podcast you can listen to anywhere. You can find my stuff at Matt Campbell Art on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Also, Action Line Studios Facebook page, and all the books and lots of other things like my art are all available on the website at actionlinestudios.com. If you're interested in learning more about making comics or deep diving into how I make Mythica, you can become a member of the Action Line Army at patreon.com/Action Line Studios. All right. Thank you so much for everybody that came and supported us. Thank you, Smurf, for hanging out and chatting again and catching up for the week. It's always a pleasure.
It's actually my best part of the week. So.
Oh my goodness! Now you're buttering me up.
Yeah. And on that bombshell, we shall say goodbye. Run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night.
Good night.